Welcome back to the channel, Smart Money Nation. Today we are finishing up the final video on how to become a notary signing agent. This was a great segment to put together for you guys. I think this is going to be a very lucrative opportunity for you guys to take on, those who choose to take it on. If you haven't been checking out this segment, make sure you go to the playlist section of my channel and check out the How to Become a Notary Signing Agent segment. You guys can follow from step one to where we are right now, which is closing it up. With that being said, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you like, share, comment. I would appreciate all of that. Today we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you guys some tips, farewell tips for those who just going to jump in and get started, or I've already started, on the most important things to keep in mind as a signing agent, right? Everything could seem like it's so important in this, but I'm gonna break down what, because you'll get lost if you feel like, hey man, this gotta be done, this gotta be done, this gotta be done. It can get overwhelming, and you kind of can lose yourself in that. The most important things to kind of occupy your mind within this, I wrote a list of those things and I'm going to elaborate on it. But before we get started, I almost forgot. We need to kick, what the fuck is my mouse? We need to kick in the intro so we can get started with that. Hey, hey, all right, cool. Fun fact about that intro. The music that you hear in that intro is actually my music. I'll probably release it one day. I'm making a more friendly version of that song, right? Some shit more useful, more productive, more better to the world than what it was before. But let's get started. So the most important things to keep in mind as a signing agent when you are doing signings every day, right? When you're going out to the signing, you're like, man, I hope I don't mess this up. Every little thing can go wrong and so on. The thing that you want to keep in mind is your most important tasks that the title companies and the people contracting you these jobs want done is they want the documents signed, dated, and initialed properly. That is what they want at the end of the day, okay? All the other stuff, you get the documents in a little later than expected. You forgot to get the ID. Just the little minor things, it's fine. You can live with that. You can live today and go do another signing tomorrow. That's okay. You'll learn from that. And then I want you to know that you're gonna make mistakes. The first couple signings, you will make mistakes, all right? And that's good because you're gonna learn from those mistakes. You won't make them again. So be prepared to make some mistakes. Hopefully you won't. After our segment in this video, hopefully you're not gonna make any mistakes. But don't worry. You will make mistakes. It's fine. Everybody does. So with that being said, make sure that your most important task is being done at minimum. Make sure that the signer is signing everywhere their name appears. That's your most important thing, right? Everywhere their name shows up, they need to sign. Of course, it shows up on a signature line. They need to sign that. And then they need a date everywhere. Ask for a date. And when they write a date, it can't just be short, right? It can't just be 1/1/22. They have to date it the proper way, right? 1/01/01/2022, right? So little things like that is what you want to pay attention to, right? So when they're dating, everywhere they need to date, they got to do it that way. Initialize, right? Initialing. That's easy to miss. The initial part. The initials on the document is very easy to miss. So just make sure if it asks for initials that they initial every part of that, right? And they need to initial it properly. So if they have a middle name, if their name is John meets Doe, it has to be JMD. They can't just put JD. All right. So things like that is what you want to pay attention to. So I will show you how to sit yourself properly to make sure that you miss nothing. I promise you, this took me like a month and a half to figure out, right? Because I had to keep trying and getting it wrong for a while to like, man, I gotta figure something out. So we'll talk about that in a second. But most important job is making sure that the documents are signed properly, dated where they need to be dated, and initialed wherever they need to be initialed. That's your most important thing. So when you walking in, just know that's my task. If I do nothing else, I'm gonna make sure these documents are signed, dated, and initialed properly everywhere they need to be initialed and signed, right? Next thing is that all that means nothing if you have them do it in the wrong color ink pen. Okay, so the standards here are black pens and blue pens, and they will let you know in the instructions when you get contracted for a signing or a job. Hey, we want this done in blue pen. Hey, we want this done in black pen. If they're gonna be specific, they'll let you know it. If you don't see anything as far as like in the instructions what type of pen it needs to be signed in, either do it in blue or black. It doesn't really matter. But look in the instructions to see if there is a certain color pen that they want this signed in. Please, if you don't check for nothing else in the instructions, check for that, because you're gonna waste your time. You're gonna waste your time. You're gonna look bad, and you're gonna lose money. So make sure you're checking for that in the instructions. Next thing is getting proper ID. A lot of the times they're gonna require at least one ID, one form of identification, or two. So make sure you know in the instructions how many asked for, or in the document inside the stack of documents how many IDs asked for. Make sure you get a picture of that. All right. So if it asks for two IDs, there's a list they can choose from which IDs they want to present to you. Just snap a picture of it. If they have it's not government ID, but if they have a military ID, you can't take a picture of it. So just write down the information on the document that it asks you for, but you do not take a picture of their military ID. Next thing, give yourself some time between signings. I learned this the hard way. Don't have a signing at 3 o'clock and then schedule one at 4 o'clock, because you don't know how quickly that signing is going to go at 3, or if the person's going to read every single paper and it's going to take 2 hours, or it could be 10 minutes. So give yourself some room between signings, because sometimes you're going to have those people that come up that read every paper like this. 200 pages, just like that, right? So, and you sitting there like annoyed as hell, like, yo, you really going to read every single paper, right? But give yourself some time between the signings for that. Set yourself up for success, all right? I didn't know how to write this, so I just wrote that. What I mean by that is that success in each signing is how you position and control the room. Okay, so you're walking into somebody's house. A lot of the times, husband, wife, you guys are gonna sit at a table, and they're gonna have to do the signing. You're gonna have to notarize, right? The secret that I found that set me up for success, and it's been nothing but sunny days after that, is where you sit yourself, right? And how you make yourself an authority in the room. Okay, don't go in there letting them tell you what to do. You got to go in there and guide them. Like, hey, I know it all. This is what we need to do. Okay, I'm going to leave this paper here. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. And it's going to come here. And we're going to double check it. And we're going to keep going. So that shows them that, sorry about the interruption. So that shows them that you're the authority. You know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about. They need to listen to you to get through this process, right? So that's what you want to, that's the aura that you want to give out. Hey, I'm the authority. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying. I'm confident in it. And I'm going to get you guys through the process. All you got to do is listen to my instructions and directions, right? Don't go in there looking like you don't know what you're doing. You have no confidence. They're going to run over you, and they're going to dictate how long it takes, whether it gets done right or not, right? So that's the vibes you want to go in with, for lack of better words. And then seating everybody, right? When you seat everybody, the way I would say is make sure you're at the end of all of them, right? So if let me just draw something here. I wish I could draw. Tools. Can I draw in here? You know what? Let me look for a draw on line. It's crazy that we gotta do this. What the? All right. So let me show you guys as far as seating. Pencil, no. All right, we'll use a pencil. Okay, let's just say this is the table, right? And there's two people signing, husband, wife. So what you want to do is whoever is whoever's name you see the most first, like as the lead signer, have them sit first. Okay, this might be them. Lead signer. And then the co-signer, right? The wife or the husband, whoever is the second, that person there, have them here, right? And then you sit yourself there. Okay? Place the documents with the lead signer and then let them know, hey, you look at the first page, sign everywhere you see your name and that asks for a signature, date everywhere it asks for a date. Make sure you put the full date and remind them the actual date, because sometimes they'll put the wrong date and not know. And initial everywhere you need to initial. Once you're done, pass it to her. And you'll do the same. Sign everywhere your name appears, date everywhere asks for a date, and initial anywhere asks for initial. When you're done, pass it to me, which is you, right? And what you'll do is double check everything. Make sure there is no mistakes on this piece of paper, right? It's foolproof. Like you're good. Once this happens, you're good because you checked everything. He did his part, she did her part. You double checked everything. Everything is good. Now, if everything is good, just place it down here. Wait for the next document and so on until all the documents are done. And you notarize wherever you got to notarize, flip it over. Now, you can't mess up in this because you're double checking everything. If you catch that, hey, he didn't sign this part, when he's done, hey, you didn't sign right here in the middle. I'll put it right here for you after this page. Make sure, you take care of that and pass it back along. So you can't mess up as far as them missing a signature or doing something wrong. You will catch it. This is how you set yourself up for success doing signings, okay? Whether you know the documents or not, you can't lose here because you're going to make sure everything is done because you're there to double check it right on the spot, right? You're not finding this out at home when you're double checking before you, scan back or mail it out. So with that being said, that is how you make sure that you set yourself up for success. I don't know if I missed anything, but these are things to keep in mind, and I hope this makes things a little easier for you. And then look at the documents. Like if you have time or chance, just go through the documents a little bit and just get familiar with them. Get a little more familiar with the documents. See what's being signed, and then if there's questions that they have that you don't have the answer to, refer them to the title company. Hey, unfortunately, I'm not able to discuss that with you. I can call the title company for you. If they are unsure about certain things in the documents that need to be filled out, like, hey, when did you buy this house, or when did you refinance last? All the questions, let them know, hey, if you don't know the answer right now, that's okay. You guys can fill that in together later. The title company will fill that in later with you. The most important thing right now is to make sure we sign everywhere we need to sign, date and initial everywhere we need to initial. Everything else can be filled in later on with you guys together once you guys have the information. That's it. It's very simple. You don't have to wait for a million things to be filled in. Your job is to get the signatures, dates, and initials. Facts. That's it. I hope that helps you guys a lot get a little more, I guess, a little less nervous about the first signing. Gives you an idea of what to put on the importance scale when you're doing that signing, and not trip over the little things and be focused on the bigger, the bigger things and the bigger picture. With that being said, that wraps up our How to Become a Notary Signing Agent segment / playlist. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys checking this out. Make sure you guys check out all my other videos on my channel. I think I should have like over 100 videos right now, just valuable videos at that. So make sure you're checking it out. Share it with your friends, family, anybody that you find that is valuable. Make sure you're subscribed and tuned in. Hit the notification bell, comments, engagement. That's all. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. See you guys on the next video. Peace. Hey.